Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us for the PHNX Suns pregame show brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you know whenever we are live. I'm Lindsay Smith. That's Saul Bookman. That's Espo. And guys, tonight the Phoenix Suns are taking on the Memphis Grizzlies for the 1 millionth time in the last month. And the last one, thankfully.
That's what it feels like. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, what? This is twice in 6 days?
It just feels like we've played only the Memphis Grizzlies over the last
Four
month.
times in 4 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm just glad they signed Shannon Sharpe to a 10-day today. So.
True, facts.
We will get into that, but we won't bury the lead for you guys. Chris Paul is back in action, and here's the deal. I refuse to use any logic of any of the information that I have gained over my time in sports to ever talk about Chris Paul injury moving forward because it makes no effing sense. I'm so tired of it.
Well, the way Gerald was talking, last night, I'm like, well, we might not see him for how long?
Yeah,
You're like, could it be 2 weeks?
What did I say?
Like, hey, he's here.
What did I say yesterday? Like, nobody's going to tell you shit. You can't believe anything that's coming out of this organization's mouth right now. They were like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a while. Next day, they're back. You know, we expect them anytime soon. Fucking 4 weeks. Like, what?
Are we even sure this is a good thing, though? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't even
know. What Chris Paul are we getting?
I mean, I don't know.
It's true.
That remains to be
true.
Seen. It really bothers me because I feel like most of the other guys on this team, they're pretty on point as far as like traditionally how franchises and organizations within this league have handled injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else. But for whatever reason, when it comes to Chris Paul, none of the quote unquote rules that we all have agreed to live by apply.
If we're going down the rabbit hole,
is
some of this load management, and he's just such a hard ass about not wanting to do that or not letting people know that we've gone into this, dark mode where it's like, oh, we're not going to tell you what's going on. Oh, it's a sore this, or maybe it's not, or maybe he'll be back in 5 minutes. We don't know. And really, it's like maybe he just wanted a week off because he's tired. Honestly,
I feel like they might be squeezing in a little bit of load management within like actual injuries that he might have. Like if he tweaks an ankle, right? Hey, let's just have you chill for a week. You know what I mean? We'll take a little bit of time to get a little bit of rest. But it just like I said, all logic around everything that I've learned over the last however many years being in sports, this one defies all of it.
I mean, Chris Paul's old. And I can say that because I'm older than him. He's old. Yeah. Like, he's just not going to recover the way we all expect him to. And let's be, if you're over the age of 40, okay, and in basketball years, Chris Paul is 86, you never know from one day to the next how you're going to wake up feeling.
Fair enough.
I have woken up and thrown my back out. I have woken up and got a Charlie horse in my fucking in my calf. Oh. Like, and you know what? I'm old as fuck because I said Charlie horse. Who the fuck says Charlie horse anymore? Like, you just never know.
Wait, what do you say?
It's a cramp. Charlie horse. Mm-hmm. Cramp.
Okay.
You ever have one of those? You get up in the middle of the night, you go back to bed, and then you wake up and you're like, "What the hell? Why does it feel like I strained something?" You're like, because you're old, you idiot.
So
yeah.
Psycho Hawk said, did Gerald not see any CP3 in practice? So I don't know for sure if he saw it, but like the thing that drives me crazy is because I'm pretty sure, unless I'm not understanding this correctly, but I feel like I am, Monty said on Friday, Chris Paul spent more time getting treatment during their practice time than he did practicing with the group. And that he would like Chris Paul to have a few days of being able to spend more time practicing with the group than getting treatment. When the F did they practice between Friday and today?
Mentally.
He mentally
practiced. It's all bullshit, Lindsay. Bullshit.
Hello, said CP, sneezed and fucked up his hip.
I mean, My
I mean,
goodness.
again, he's
Are we
old.
sure he isn't sneaking off to Germany to get the Kobe blood spinning thing?
I thought you were going to say sneaking off to LA. I was like, oh no, don't go there.
No, let's not go there.
You're dashing over to LA in a car
Don't
dash?
do it. Don't do it.
So that's the news around Chris Paul. The moral of the story is we never know from day to day, but he's playing today. And that's hopefully a really good thing. In addition to Chris Paul, a few other things on the injury report. Cam Johnson will play today. Of course, he was not playing yesterday due to that injury management. Deandre and Devin Booker, Cam Payne, and Landry Shamet, however, still remain out. And then on the Grizzlies side, the only person on their injury list is Danny Green, and he's out with left knee surgery recovery.
You want to know how old I am? I spent 35 minutes today trying to remember Draymond Green's name and kept saying Danny Green in my head, going, that's not right.
That's not the same guy.
It's
Not good.
The math is not mathing on this one. All right, so now that we know who all is playing and who all is not playing, how are you guys kind of feeling about this one? Do you think it's just going to be another Grizzlies win? Is there a matchup you're excited about? What are your expectations for this game?
Well, seeing as how I was all in on the Grizzlies this morning on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, I'm going to say this is probably going to be a double-digit victory for the Grizz.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a pretty easy night for the Grizz, but what I'm interested in seeing is how does CP3 coming back impact Mikal Bridges, because he's become much more entrenched in the offense, was very much handling the ball for this offense, was distributing. We saw him have 9 assists the other night. Does this have him shrink back into that? I'm taking 15 shots. You know, I'm gonna get my 15 points and I won't pass the ball as much. What does tonight look like in terms of that? And then obviously, how does Cam Johnson look out there after coming back for a game, taking a night off? Do we get the same guy that scored 19 the other night, or does he regress?
I would also be curious to know. I don't think Monty said it pregame if Cam was on a minutes restriction tonight or not.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that if you guys had heard that.
I didn't. As far as I recall, when I listened to Monty pregame, he didn't say anything about that. But I could be. I could have missed
34 tonight by Cam. Let's go. And then we won't see him for a month.
We'll see. I think the biggest thing is regardless of who wins this game, I hope it stays close, because the last couple of games, it hasn't been a close margin. I think the Grizzlies have won by like 17 or more in a couple of these. I think maybe both of the games we lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I would prefer it to at least be a close game, something we can actually enjoy watching, you know?
Yeah, just give me some excitement like they've had the last 2 games. I mean, there's been that sense of they're enjoying themselves again, which makes it a lot easier for us to enjoy Suns basketball. So just give me that, even if it's only 3.5 quarters and then the Grizzlies separate. But, you know, it's tough. The Grizz are one of the best teams in the West, and this team is still battling back from injuries and trying to figure out who they are. We're not getting another Herculean effort by Josh Okogie. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're not seeing 20 plus points from Josh Okogie tonight and 4 blocks. And last night was very much these bench guys coming up big, everybody contributing. You're not going to see that on back-to-back nights. So you're going to need a Cam Johnson, a Mikal Bridges, a CP3 to step up in a big way, and I'm not holding my breath on 2 of those 3.
So the only time the Suns beat the Grizzlies this year, they shot very, very well from 3. Like, you got to repeat that performance. Otherwise, good night.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least you have one of your shooters back, so that helps. In theory, at least it helps.
Yes.
We'll see how it plays out.
And Mikal's been shooting very well from deep
True.
over the last 6 games too. So hopefully between him and Cam Johnson, you can get some success behind the arc. Obviously, Damian Lee knows how to do that as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, you want to know the starting lineup?
Do I?
Actually, it's not bad tonight.
Okay, good.
Torrey Craig, Mikal Bridges, Chris Paul, Cam Johnson, and Bismack Biyombo. So I'm guessing since Cam Johnson is in the starting unit again, the minutes restriction is probably out the door. It probably was just like a one-time thing to make sure everything was actually good to go.
Why?
That's just my
Why are we getting
guess.
Torrey Craig?
I don't know. Like, Torrey barely played yesterday. I don't
Yeah.
understand that one.
Maybe he didn't like Because didn't Dario start with Biz
Yeah.
yesterday?
Oh, I
Dario
know why.
barely played,
It's because we're just modifying ourselves to other people's needs.
Too
this
soon.
this lineup will match up with Memphis. That's
Yeah.
what they're running
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, random little nugget. When I went to the Suns Twitter page, they had the balloons on it, which means it's their Twitter birthday.
Oh.
Did you set that up?
No, I came in. It had been there for a couple of years, so I set up Instagram and the now dead Google Plus. Those were
fancy.
Yeah, but Instagram was my big contribution to Suns Social.
Well, apparently today is the Suns' birthday on social media. At least that's what it says. So
congratulations, Jeremy
happy birthday,
McPeak.
Suns.
That was all you.
Anything else about this one that has you feeling any type of way?
Yeah. Is Ja going to end a man tonight? That's what I want to know.
I mean,
he might.
Well, Landry's not out there, so
he could go after Bismack.
That would be kind of tough.
Yeah, but would be fun to watch.
Oh yeah. That's the one I want to see.
What?
Ja against Biz.
Oh yeah. I hope it plays really well at Biz favor, because
could you imagine Biz is that type of dude that could block you, and because of your momentum and force, you end up on your own back.
Yeah, that's true. Him, and I'd like to see a Kogi too.
So we got a super chat from Mike B, and I'm having a hard time understanding it. So he said, "Hey yo, love you guys. I'm sorry, but I went to yesterday's game and the players are kind of tough, man. No cigs, no, and not that friendly. Hopefully Ish changes things. Just saying, go Suns for life."
So
no signatures?
No, then no cigarettes is what he said. Yes. No signatures. They weren't signing, and they weren't very friendly. So
I'm kind of surprised. That's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm surprised too, because they've always tended to be pretty, good with the fans. Even this iteration, I mean, Book always was. So obviously he's not out there right now, but I don't know.
That's too bad.
Well,
really too
sorry
bad.
to hear that, Mike B. Hopefully next time you hit up a game, you get a completely different experience, because that's not cool. That ain't it.
Just next time you go out there, flag down Jock. You tell him Espo sent you. He'll call you a dickhead, but he'll probably sign for you.
That's true.
Or at least take a picture with you. We'll see.
Or he'll call you a clown. One or the other, but it's lovingly.
But he says clown.
Espo, what are the guys wearing tonight?
They are wearing, for the first time in a long time, the purple Icon Edition jersey. So this is the typical purple jersey there versus the Memphis Association Edition, which is the white Memphis with the Grizzly on the shorts. And I hate on a lot of opponents, but I think Memphis has a pretty clean set in general.
Boring.
I mean, it's not earth shattering, but I think it's clean, and so I like the Grizz moniker and the Grizzly in general too. Not as cool as it used to be when it was Vancouver, but still pretty cool.
The old school ones were way nicer, but purple's fine for the Suns.
Oh yeah, I mean their regular set, the Icon and Association, are pretty bland too.
They're boring too. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they're boring. All right, let's talk a little sports betting.
Yay.
What do you guys got, and by how much?
I got the Grizz winning by 5.
Okay.
I've got the Grizz winning by 12.
Ooh, Espo, you want us to have a sad night, don't you?
I'm
It's
just realistic.
only sad if you don't win any money.
Gerald and I have the Grizz by 4, so we are all in agreement that
I guess you want to have a sad night tonight, huh?
At least 4 is close. 12 is a blowout in my book. No, absolutely not. What do our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app think about this?
They want us to have a bad night too. They've got Memphis by 9.
Well, rude. This one hadn't changed much all day. It pretty much stayed the same, even when we got the news that Chris Paul was probable, which is even more rude. Plato says, I have faith. Suns by 4. Indiginative harmony?
Sure.
Suns by 12. So you guys at least feel good about tonight's game. I just don't have the same gut feeling that I had yesterday. Yesterday, I was like, we're good. I don't know what it was. I had a really solid feeling about yesterday's game.
It was Indiana.
It was probably Indiana. Hey Dot has Suns by 10. So I hope you guys are all correct and we are all wrong. We'll see. What are you guys putting your money
I
on?
love it every time we go over, you go, we'll see. Yeah, that's the whole premise. We got to wait and watch the game.
Yeah. I'm just putting words to thoughts. We'll see. Should I change it? Should I come up with different little isms each time?
Sure. So I have anytime field goal by either team, and the first field goal has to be a 3-pointer. So that's what I have, plus 260.
So
Okay.
I saw you do that, and I went, you know what? I'm gonna get on this train, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be the exact first field goal is a 3-pointer by the Suns. I'm gonna get plus 600. Well, you're gonna get plus 260. Keep you trailing here.
Okay, I low-key almost took the exact same one as Saul just to troll him because he said whenever he gets really high up in the standings, he was just going to take whatever bet we took so that we could never jump him. But then I was like, well, let me just look around and see what I can find here. I'm going to take the over on Bismack Biyombo blocks tonight. It's at 1.5. It's a minus 105, so it's not a huge payout, but I also really want Bismack Biyombo to have a bunch of blocks tonight. In the last 3 games against the Grizz, he had 4, 1, and 2. And when he had 4, I believe he played like 24-ish or somewhere up there, high 20 minutes. And the other 2 was like 10 and 12 minutes. And I'm expecting he'll probably play a lot more tonight, being that DA is out. So come on, Bismack, give me 2 blocks, please and thank you. Yeah, so that's where we're sitting. How does the leaderboard look?
Not as good as it used to look.
It's not as good as it used to look. No,
It's looking better and better every day.
So Saul is a positive 2950. I am positive 9562, and Espo is a positive 47. So we are all in the green. Things are getting a little bit tighter in this race.
Also, just real quick, I know you're about to finish this DraftKings read off, but I got a special for you guys. We'll call it the Grizz special. If you think that the Grizzlies are going to win the game, and I'm not saying you should, but in case, if you feel like, you know what, I think this is a sure thing, you might as well make some money out of it. I've got a special deal for you at plus 1,700. There's 5 picks, okay? You got the Grizzlies money line. You got Desmond Bane under 19.5 points. You have Ja over 28.5 points. You have Jaren Jackson under 16.5 points. And finally, Ja Morant under 7.5 points. I think he's going to score a lot. I don't think he's going to pass a lot. So that's plus 1,700. I put some money on it. Have fun.
7.5 assists? Okay.
Yeah, 7.5 assists.
Okay. Well, I hope you win all of your bets.
So do I.
I'm being a good sport today. If you guys want to get in on the action, right now, DraftKings has 2 promotions for you. All new and existing customers can take a shot at an even bigger payout with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Boost your NFL winnings with each leg you add up to 100%. And if you have not downloaded the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you should definitely do that. And when you do, make sure you use the promo code PHNX because new customers who use that promo can bet $5 on the NFL divisional round and get 200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
So I didn't realize Mike B was referring to the old players.
Oh, it was the old player?
Yeah. So he said Tom Chambers was awesome, though. FYI, I don't sell autographs. I'm just a fan. So I did. I'm sorry you had that experience, but I did see Barkley signing and taking pictures with a lot of other fans too in other sections. So maybe he was just, I don't know. Hopefully, maybe the group is just whatever. But I did see some of them signing autographs.
So I will say, not to give them an excuse by any means, but when you do have events like this, they're being pulled in 85 million different directions behind the scenes. So just a little perspective. I guarantee you there was somebody who was like, come on. We got to go. We got to get to this place. Now. So maybe that could have played into it a little bit.
Barkley's tough too. I mean, it depends on the moment with him. I had an experience where I was working there and he signed something for me and I'd said, hey, I'm sorry. I know this is unprofessional. It's like, no problem. Happy to do it for you, man. Mm-hmm. And then I saw him at an all-star weekend and I was asking him to help with something that I was doing for Sun Social, and he told me to fuck off. So, and that's a direct quote. Yeah. So it really just depends on the moment you catch Chuck.
Honestly, it really does because I've had the exact same type of experiences where one time it's great, the next time it's like, God, he's such a jerk today.
Oh, yeah. Well, the other time he pulled me on the bar at Marley's and took a photo with me. So, like, I mean, it really is hit or miss.
But to be
with
fair,
him,
it's the exact same with Saul and Espo and me and Gerald and Emma. Some days are great. Other days are like, you need a nap.
Now, if you ask me for my autograph, I'm going to say, why the hell would you want to waste whatever I'm signing?
All right, Frank, we do see your super chat. We'll get to that here in just a second. But first, Espo, where are we sitting? What do the standings look like for the Phoenix Suns right now?
Oh, I thought you were asking me to talk about more furniture seats here. Where are we sitting? More furniture seats. Look, the Suns are currently in 10th right now, 10.5 back of the first place Denver Nuggets. But I do have good news for you because the Minnesota Timberwolves sit at 24-24. And they play tonight, I believe. If they lose, the Suns could move all the way up to 7th, I believe. Or they'd move to 24-24, 500 there. So if the Warriors also lose tonight, so they can move up the standings tonight and be closer to home court advantage right now than we think. I mean, they're only 3 games back of New Orleans in the 4th seed. And 4 games back, 4.5 games back of the Sacramento Kings and that 3 seed. So look, everything is on the table still, all the way up to being the 3rd seed in the West, and all the way dropping down to what are we looking at? They're a game back of 13th, of 12th in the West, a game and a half back of 13th. So literally, as KG said, anything is possible.
Yeah,
good and bad.
This is a weird, very bizarre year, that's for sure. But it is beneficial to us because we did go through a rough patch, but it didn't kill us. It didn't kill the hopes of making the playoffs. And I know everyone was joking for a hot minute there, and some people were for real about tanking for Wembanyama, but we don't have to at this point because the door is still open.
Yeah, they're closer to first than they are to last in the West right now, which is crazy when you think about where they've been and how rough it's been.
That's also the benefit of building such a big lead, or getting off to such a good start that when things did go awry, you didn't have to fall off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Yep, we could get back to 500 tonight. So.
All right, so we're looking okay. We're looking okay. Things are good over here in the Suns world. Now let's get to Frank's super chat. Frank said, "What you guys think about LeBron Grizzlies B?" Well, Frank, we've got thoughts. Saul, you want to start?
Yeah, nobody wanted that smoke from Shannon. Not even Steven Adams. He'd have got his ass whooped.
Okay, so
can I also say one more thing?
Yeah, of course.
People were like, if that was any other fan, they wouldn't have been able to come back. I'm like, well, yeah, congratulations to celebrityhood in LA. Like, of course they're not going to kick popular people courtside out. That's just how it is.
If it had been any other fan, the Grizzlies wouldn't have reacted that way either.
That's true.
It was because he's a famous former athlete that was jawing at them, and they didn't take kindly to it. If it was a regular fan, they would have ignored it. They wouldn't have,
if it was me over there, they'd have been like, who the fuck is that asshole? And they just walked on.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the biggest question that came out of this whole kerfuffle was, and we're going to make this like a little bit lighter, right? We're not going to go too heavy with it. So we'll pretend it's a boxing match, okay?
Sure, yeah.
If Steven Adams and Shannon Sharpe were to go toe-to-toe in the ring, who do you think would win?
Look, Shannon Sharpe has so much pent-up aggression from having to work with what's-his-nuts over there on The Undisputed that I think that just that alone would get him over the finish line against Steven Adams, because we're talking boxing. We're not talking bare knuckle, whatever.
Okay, should we call it UFC then?
Look, if this was anything goes, it's Steven Adams. But if we're in sanctioned fighting, I think it's Shannon Sharpe.
I think people forget the fact.
Okay, do we just need to throw out the trying to be gentle and tiptoe around and it's an anything goes?
Yeah, anything goes.
Okay, anything goes.
And listen, like, people forget that Shannon is from the backwoods. Like, he grew up in a very tough environment in the South. Like, it's just, he's country strong. Like, there's a difference. Like, there's a difference when you go to the gym and you bump into somebody that's, 50, 55 years old, but, you can tell that they haven't really been weathered. You know, then you bump into some brick house that's 55 years old, and you're like, okay, I know that dude's been through a lot. Shannon Sharpe's been through a lot. He's about that life.
I don't think that's natural on Shannon.
I'm not going to comment on that.
I think that's
like the biggest factor that I feel like everyone's missing is just the sheer age. Like Shannon is 54 years old. Steven Adams is 29 years old. Like no matter how in shape and what his like track record and history is, we're still talking about what, 25 years on the guy?
It'd be like Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. Jake Paul wouldn't stand a chance.
You're going to tell me these two guys are on the level of Mike Tyson and Jake Paul?
By comparison, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's garbage in all aspects of everything.
Shannon Sharpe knows how to fight.
And I feel like Steven Adams also knows how to fight.
Kiwis don't know how to fight.
I don't know. I feel like they're pretty tough.
Now you're just going to take on an entire country of people? Like, jeez.
I don't know.
I'm not
saying that what you're saying about Shannon Sharpe is not correct. I just genuinely think that at a certain age, you start to lose steam.
It's like 50-50.
You can't last as long.
Shannon Sharpe gives up 9 inches to Steven Adams, too. So I think that plays a part.
The reach
in this
alone.
As well. Like,
but
he's only getting body blows. He's not hitting him in the face. Like
Jose said, grandfather time undefeated. Don't break nothing now. That's what I'm saying.
He's agreeing with me.
No, I thought it was like because he was saying he's old.
Oh, I got.
That's how I took it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Steven Adams could probably just hold Shannon Sharpe off. Like, yeah.
You guys, I'm telling you, like, I could tell you guys have never run into these type of dudes before.
I mean, I'm not running into any type of dudes.
My uncle is 75 years old right now today. If I would never try to fight that man because I feel like he would beat my ass. Like, it's just different when you're in the South.
But you're not 6'11" and a cut NBA player either.
In the peak of his like physical prime.
NBA player.
This
dude was a football player. This dude's probably been taking bricks to the head since he was like 3. Shannon Sharpe is different.
He's built different.
He is.
I don't know.
Granted, I wouldn't have fought Frank Sanders either, to your point.
Right?
And
Frank Sanders
he's about the same age as Shannon Sharpe.
What is the poll looking like? Dang, the poll is 57 for Shannon Sharpe and 40. No, it just jumped. 59 Shannon Sharpe, 41 for Steven Adams.
Country strong.
I don't know, man. All I know is that night on social media was probably one of my favorite days on TikTok, or not TikTok, on Twitter in a really long time. Twitter has been a wasteland for a hot minute. But that night restored my faith in Twitter because the jokes that people were getting off were fantastic.
Well, look, I am in Shannon Sharpe's corner, though. I think he was in the right in all that. I think the Memphis Grizzlies are a bunch of little punks for the way they reacted to that.
No, because Shannon Sharpe started it.
He was backing his boy LeBron. He was telling him half off that they couldn't guard LeBron. Like, if you can't handle people talking crap at you
this is
in
true.
LA,
I mean, that's fair.
Like, you're soft.
Yeah.
Sam said, why is Steven Adams talking to Shannon Sharpe anyway? Because Steven Adams is like that guy for them. He's the bruiser. But he's also been that guy a lot in all the teams he's kind of been on. He's always the first one in the thick of it.
We could use a Steven Adams.
When they get into a kerfuffle.
Oh, I like Steven Adams.
I love Steven Adams.
But I just think, I mean, in the end, it amounts to a fan was talking trash and supporting the hometown guy, and that's what got under your skin.
And of course, rabbit ears Dylan Brooks freaking losing. Shut up.
Well, and LeBron's whole point to Dylan Brooks, too.
Punk ass duck down.
Dylan Brooks, I will say, like,
I hate Dylan Brooks so much.
I'm just going to throw this out there.
Supposed to be a
I think this season has turned a lot of people off from the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah.
The way that they've been talking, the shenanigans. I think that they've topped the Suns now as officially one of the more hated teams.
The only one that's cool is Ja. Everybody else can get these hands from the rest of the league. That's what it is. That's what it's about. Like, honestly, Dylan Brooks he's like, there's like 3 players in the NBA right now that I just absolutely detest. and Dylan Brooks is right there at 4 or 3. I can't decide.
He's a James Jones guy. James wanted him. He thought that was the trade he was pulling
He wanted
off.
Marshawn.
No, he thought he was getting Dylan, and they tried to go, hey, no, you got Marshawn.
Yeah.
Like, you ever try to make a deal at one of those stores where you can negotiate, and then they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to, no, we don't have that, but we've got this. And it's like, no, I didn't ask for that crap. That's what got pulled there, you know?
Yeah.
And you know what, to be completely honest with you, I'm cool with it. I love that Memphis is now where we were last year, because it's kind of leveling things out as far as how much grief we're getting. So I will gladly let them be the most hated face here.
Hello says they can talk to people. You saying Reggie Miller's soft? Come on, Espo. No, I'm saying the fact that they came over like they wanted to fight Shannon Sharpe is the soft part of it. Jaw back and forth while you're running down the court.
What you think? Spike Lee was like, hey, good job, Reggie, across the court when Reggie was torching the Knicks? No, he was like, you fucking suck. And then Reggie Miller hit dagger threes from half court. It was like, fuck you. Yeah. Like, that's what it is.
Reggie let his game talk. He didn't say, hey, I'm going to go fight Spike Lee.
Oh boy, so many shenanigans. Hopefully we don't get any crazy shenanigans tonight in this one.
We don't have any celebrity fans. What, Frankie Muniz going to be like, hey, Steven Adams!
Don't disrespect Frankie Muniz. He might come on the show.
David Spade, you know, hey, Steven Adams. Like, no.
Why do they all sound whitey?
David Spade is whitey, all right? Like,
all right. Well, with that, we'll say goodbye. We got a game to go watch. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to meet us right back here after it wraps up. Bye.
Hey yo, my lifestyle is retro. Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo.